we go. Get a good angle here so you guys can see what's happening. Oop, there we go. I think. There we go. Nice. That'll do it. That'll do it. All right. Let me get the chat pulled up, guys, and we'll get started. Let me get my chat pulled up. Yeah. Throw some weights on too. Let's get our plates on here. Hopefully you guys are doing good tonight. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I can't see chat right now, guys, so hold on a second. I'm sure you guys are talking to me. Give it just a second. I wanted to get it started so I wasn't super late, you know? People make sure to let me know if I'm late, you know? All right. Come on. Let's go. Oh, I need to add more weight to this. I almost forgot to add my fives, guys. Y'all let me slip. Y'all gonna let me slip up, forget to add my fives. We ain't even got enough weight for the warm-up yet. There we go. No, I don't want to update that kind of stuff. I'm feeling good tonight, guys. I got good sleep, good food. Everything is A-okay in my book today. So I didn't even need to take a nap today. That's a new one, you know. I don't actually nap that often, believe it or not. It's rare. All right. One day this computer will load up fast enough for me to actually open the chat in a reasonable amount of time. But you know how it goes. There we go. All right, chat is up. Let's see who's talking to me. I'm sure it's been way more than usual. There we go. All right. Almost missed it, guys. There we go. 1,000 push-ups. I appreciate it, Random. All right. Let's grab it. We got a warm-up set real quick. Ugh. Good, all good. Ugh. All right, warm-up set moved pretty good. I'm gonna throw some plates on, keep it moving. You guys know how it is. Mondays are usually slow moving, but by the end of the night, we're all good and warm for the week. I'll tell you what, that mac and cheese with those chicken wings last night, top tier. It was delicious. It was delicious. What's up, Brandon? We'll curl a little bit later, yeah. I did. I got a new necklace today. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice? I used to have a different, like, sterling silver chain that I used to wear. And then my kids, one of my toddlers, snapped it off. Healthy mac and cheese, yes. Everything I do is healthy. I don't do cheat meals. But yeah, one of my kids, can't remember what we were doing, but he grabbed a hold of it while I was setting him down, and he pulled it off, and it broke the clasp. So I'm used to having something here. It just feels right, but it's been a while since I've worn one. So we'll get used to it again. A lot, Dustin. We're warming up right now. Oh, what's up, Rich Guy? I can't make any recommendations for recovering from ACL surgery, unfortunately. Not over the stream, at least. So, not something I can do for you on the stream. I'm sorry. I just, if I tell you to do something and it doesn't work out, there's no way for me to be able to make corrections to you live. So, ugh. All right. Appreciate it, high energy. Appreciate it. All right. 245 is our next warm up rep. Not with 245 we won't. What's up, Josh? Not with 245 we won't. We won't tear a pec at 245. This is like, it's like shoulder press weight. Ugh. We are building a gym this summer. We are building a gym this summer. This is easy weight. This is easy weight here. So, Viral's here. Already got a troll in the chat. What's up, Viral? Ugh. All right, let me grab some more weight. Oh, we got one here. Hold on. All right. I'm gonna get a little bit of everything for the home gym. I'm gonna have dumbbells, a bench, a power rack. I have a pull-up and dip area. It's gonna be a nice home gym. If I'm gonna train in it, it has to have everything I would normally use to train. So it'll be a pricey endeavor for sure. So. Honestly, all I changed random is the necklace. It is a new shirt, but it's just the necklace random. I may get one cable, like a pull down cable machine, most likely. I'll probably get one to do extensions and maybe some flies with, but it'll be something close to what we have, like the Nautilus we use for our triceps here. It'll be something similar to that, because I want it to be multi-purpose. So, how's it going, Alan? Natty Frog Cup is top tier, Rich. Probably a mixture, Michael. I don't have a problem with used equipment at all. 365 is my PR, Dustin. Yeah, I don't have a problem with used equipment. I'm pretty good at with hand tools. So anything that's even as long as it's structurally well put together, still I can work with it. So, all right, let's grab this. This is 315, last warm up rep of the night, guys. Ugh. No, I'm natural. I'm natural, Andrew. I am natural. Just whole milk, creatine, and pre-workout. That's it. That's it. What's up, Brogan? Let's add some more weight. Let's add some more weight. All right, let's add some more weight. 325 is next. 325 is next. We're gonna grab 325, and then we're probably gonna go up to like 340, 345 tonight. We're not gonna get a spotter this late. I knew that, but I don't PR on Mondays anyways. So my own program. I weigh 177 and I am 5'11". So I have my own program. What's up, Knight? But yeah, the program is designed to me. The closest thing to my program you're going to find, if you look up the Bulgarian method for weightlifting, that's the closest in style. So Andrew, you got to do better. Don't start none if you don't want none, you know what I'm saying? That's how we do here. So don't start none if you don't want none. Oh, 325. Easy work. Easy work. We did bump the peg, but easy work. So it's training 6 days a week. So the traditional Bulgarian method, which I did not design my program after it, but it is close to my program. I learned about that afterwards. Is 7 days a week, near maximal lift. So whatever your PR is, close to that every single day, 7 days a week, multiple times a day. So at least twice a day. Now it's been adapted for powerlifting. But that's the closest to what I do. But I do once a day, 6 days a week, close to maximal effort. It's very similar. It's full body. I do pause reps from time to time, yes. So there are two very different sports, Andrew. Jiu-jitsu and powerlifting are two very different sports. It just depends on your preference. Well, it makes sense that Mossberg's here every night, Andrew. He's a mod and a very he's a long-term supporter of the stream. Andrew, you're gonna have to calm yourself down a little bit. We added some more weight, guys. Added some more weight. It's very real. This is very real weight. I do have milk, yes. I'll wear whatever I want, Pat. This is actually more than Anatoly's bench. This is heavier than Anatoly's current bench PR that I'm aware of. I looked up his PRs a while back when I was watching his channel. This is actually ever so slightly heavier than Anatoly's bench press. So, all right, let's get it. Pounds. This is 335 at the moment. All right. Yeah, not bad at all. I like that, Mossberg. I didn't see your question about squat, John. I do a full body every day, John. We're trying to get over 400 on the squat probably by the end of this month. Right now, I'm comfortable to 375, 385, not quite at 400 yet. Squat is definitely my worst of the 3 lifts, mostly because I did a push-pull specialization for the first 2 years that I was competitive lifting. Because for those of you that aren't aware with powerlifting, there's different types. So you have bench only, you have push-pull, which is bench and deadlift, and then you have full power, which is bench, deadlift, squat, which is full SBD. So for the first 2 years, I did bench only, and then I did bench and deadlift specific. So now we've added squat, so we've got to get our squat caught up with everything else. Yes, powerlifter. In 10 minutes, I could probably get over 100 burpees, I'd imagine. Probably a couple hundred burpees. I don't know, anti-aging. A lot. I get a lot of burpees. Burpees aren't tough. I don't do burpees, though. I'm not a fan of burpees. So, on the 375 bench tonight, we would probably go for 370 tonight if it wasn't for the lack of a spotter. But Mondays are my warm-up day, guys. Sundays are my rest day. Mondays I warm up for the week, and then we're gonna add some weight though. And then on usually Wednesdays are my best day. I usually lift the best on Wednesdays. Drop the plate, slip. I usually lift the most efficiently on Wednesdays. I have the most energy on Wednesdays. So usually we PR on Wednesdays. But I'll PR any day of the week if I have a spotter. I don't care. Is Andrew still talking? I'm pretty sure. So what? I'm not 6 foot. I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11". You were close though. We're almost 6 foot. We're right there. Right there. Not for this. Not for 340. 340 is easy weight. The Pope. I like that. That's great. Lord. 6'1" in shoes. This is 340 right now. We're about to hit 340. Give me about 30 more seconds. We're gonna hit 340. This is easy work. This is still easy weight. We rest for long periods of time typically. We've only been benching for 18 minutes and we've already climbed to 340. So my rest times aren't that extreme. I have a small arch in your bench, and your back for the bench is ideal. A small arch. Natty, I am natty. I'm 30 years old. All right, let me grab this weight real quick, guys, and then we'll come back to it. So, all right, 340, nice and easy. Woo-wee! Felt good. Felt good. Whew. Yeah, you got plenty of time, Ben. Just keep it pressing, you know? Appreciate it. 5,000 calories a day, typically. That's 340 we just did, Ronnie. This isn't a PR. This was lightweight. T-sauce. These are singles though. We're doing singles at the moment. I could probably grab up to like 335, 340 for a double on a good day. So, always bulking, Zeke, always bulking. $2,400, you should put on weight, Goat, but it really is dependent on your activity level. But you're not going to put on weight very fast. 2,400 is definitely going to be a calorie surplus. It's just not going to be a significant calorie surplus. I can't give you direct nutrition advice over the stream, but at most people at that calorie count at your body weight are going to be in a surplus. So. We just did, Gio. We just benched it. We actually might go up another 5 pounds, to be honest. It doesn't feel bad so far, so. Go 345 tonight, what y'all think? I think 345 is doable tonight. Whoa. I take creatine and pre-workout, that's it. Appreciate it, Gio. Yeah, it just depends on activity level. 2,400 would be considered a surplus, but it depends on activity level. So, ugh. All right, let's grab it. I'm gonna have to side with Mossberg here. No bias or anything, but I have a feeling he's telling you the truth. I would listen. All right. Yes, powerlifting. That's my gig. That's my gig. All right. All right, 345, 345, nice and easy. Little short pause, little short pause. Felt good. Wait, a spotter for that? There's the ooey, right? There it is. Just creatine monohydrate, Ryan. Just creatine monohydrate. Nothing fancy. Just creatine monohydrate. Andrew just happens to be a blurple belt in karate and a professional driver. If you guys haven't noticed yet. He's multifaceted, right? What's up, Japanese? Wait, he's also a 5-star Michelin chef, if you guys didn't know. Only making breakfast food, of course, but 5-star Michelin chef. I've been talking to you, rich guy. You gotta be careful how much you talk to the popo, though. I'm only gonna give you little bits here and there, right? So. Chalk for the bench? Absolutely not. Doesn't feel right. 315 preacher curl attempt tonight. All right, what was that, 345? You guys want to do a 350? Go for 350 tonight? What's up, Sashu? Tree fitty. Tree fitty. About tree fitty. Not today, Sasha. The khakis will be back on probably over the next couple of days, but we'll see. I don't leg press. Leg press isn't amazing, I'll be honest. I'm a power lifter, so single press leg press wouldn't be ideal. But if I was leg pressing, I 100% would do heavy singles. Heavy singles are great for promoting growth of not only strength, but also muscle growth. So. I use chalk for my deadlifts. I've never used it for the bench. Maybe I'm sleeping on it. We'll find out one day, right? Yeah, power cleaning. I don't do power cleans typically, John. That'd be a solid power clean. I don't know what's considered heavy for power cleans, to be honest. Zeke, I have some stuff on my channel that specifies how to increase your bench press, like some movements you can incorporate and things like that, form changes. I would take a look at those. So. I don't stretch ever, so. Similar muscle, Sashu, but not exactly the same movement. So. I've been going to the gym for 5 years total. I've been working out for 5 years, so. 500's not, I don't have 500 up yet. We're working on it. We will, 100%. 350 is not PR level, but it's not, obviously 315 is where we kind of end our warm-up sets, right? So. I don't know what you're talking about, Tino. You talking about the Eddie Hall thing? I watch a little bit of Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall just won his fight, didn't he? Wasn't it less than 30 seconds he won his fight, if I'm not mistaken? He won his fight in less than 30 seconds. Whee! Go for 405. I've been lifting for 5 years total. I don't know what you're talking about, Sean. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I'll be fine, Sasha. This is very much within reasonable weights. This is easy work. This is easy work. This is very reasonable weight. We're still within like pausing range. If I needed to pause and reset myself, I could do it. But ultimately, worst case scenario, you have to dump the weight. You have to dump the weight. I mean, I don't think we've ever had to dump weight on stream. 100% I know we haven't. I haven't had to dump weight in years. I think the last time I had to dump weight was like 3 or 4 years ago. I haven't like missed a bench without a spotter in a long time. In a long time. I'm pretty good at judging what I'm gonna have happen during a bench press. I can almost tell you with like 99% accuracy if I'm gonna hit a PR or if it's gonna be like a miss rep. I almost know it before I try it. I'll still try it every time, but. Ugh. Have a good one, Sean. Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, 315. We're doing a drop set. This is easy work. Let me grab some milk and then we'll play around 315 for a little while. I have bench press tips on my channel. It's on my shorts. Go to my shorts, scroll down a little bit, you'll see bench press tips. I have 2 videos on bench press tips. Actually 3 if you go further back, but there's 2 recent bench press tips videos. That's the best place to go. No, Dustin. No injuries at all. 6 days a week, Braylon. I train bench 6 days a week. Heavy. Man, Andrew doesn't quit, huh? Usually by now I would mute trolls, but I feel like you're winning pretty easily there. What did he say this time? Hold on. These are wrestling shoes. They're the same ones I've always had. I mean, I get the same ones. So when I wear out a pair of wrestling shoes, so I use them for powerlifting. I don't wrestle, but I use them for powerlifting. But when I wear out a pair of wrestling shoes, I go and I buy nearly the exact same pair every single time from the exact same place typically. I'm a creature of habit, and these are very comfortable. So I'm 30 years old, Goldfish. I'm doing just fine, by the way. I'm a professional strength coach. If you want to see what the routine's all about, Goldfish, you can go and look up the Bulgarian method for lifting. That's not my exact program, but it's the closest thing to it. It's an advanced level program. It's not for everybody, Goldfish. You may not be ready for something like that, but it just depends on your conditioning. Okay, so I don't know how to, at some point I'm gonna have to move to what's called top chat. And I'm holding back, guys, from doing that. I leave the full chat running and I try and read every message. But there is an option to filter out stuff that's repetitive. And I might have to do that soon. I try and answer questions as often as possible, but it does, and I agree. Those questions wear on me a little bit. They do. So. Give me one moment, Sashu. I try and read everybody's message regardless. If you're I mentioned the bench press tips. The bench press tips are on my channel already. Saint, you have to go to my channel. The bench press tips are going to be there. So. That is an option too. There is an option to do that where it's subscriber only chat. That may be something we move to soon, I'm gonna be honest. We might test that out here soon. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. We're going to grab this 315, I promise. You know what? I'm going to try something real quick, guys. Hold on. There we go. All right. So supposedly I just activated a setting that'll it'll clean up the chat a little bit for us automatically. Let's see how it does tonight. All right. I'll check chat in a second. Let me grab this. on? What did he do? Was he spamming? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Come on. Don't spam. It's the setting's just gonna filter out inappropriate content for moderation. So we're gonna see if it works. We'll find out at some point tonight whether or not that's working. So we will, right? Hopefully that'll help Mossberg out a little bit. So I don't know how to tell if it's working though. So we're gonna have to wait until a troll comes in and tries to troll, I guess. It's working? I don't know what words it's filtering, honestly. I have no idea. We're gonna find out though. I think it'll update me at some point and tell me what people are trying to say. But I think I can see it, but But I mean, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Mossberg, are you still here? I know Mossberg's here. Just type in bench once you're on my channel, it'll pop right up. When it comes to giving bench tips on the stream, it's difficult because there's a lot of things I have to know. It's not like a 5-minute thing. It's like that's like a 10-minute at least conversation. Yeah, Ken, we're doing offset training tonight. 4 on one, 3 on the other. All right. All right, we got, that was that the 4th rep. We got 3 more to go. 3 more to go. Ooh. Not quite at 4 plates yet. No, not quite at 4 plates yet. All right. Easy work. Another round of this. Woo-wee! Easy work. Easy work. Serial. So there was actually a kid that did that. His whole thing was, if you think you can lift it, essentially, you can lift it, right? He thought, like, legitimately, that was his thought process. And he made, I think he tried like 700 pounds on the bench with very little bench training. He was a wrestler, I think. And he did it with like a crowd and everything else. It was like a whole event. He had like a little bit of a following, and they slapped. By the time I think he got to like 500, like 600 or something like that, the bar just collapsed into his chest. But he said it was all mindset, right? I agree, mindset matters, but strength does too. You still have to fight gravity, all right? You still have to fight gravity at the end of the day. Ugh. I don't know what to tell you. This is not a personal training session. I'm doing. I put the shorts up there in case people need them. But this is not a personal training session. This is me working out. I give general advice throughout the stream, but I don't have anything specific for you at the moment. That's a lot of conversation you're asking for. Here, I'll link it to you. That's the most I can do right now. Hold on. Anybody that wants bench tips, that's the bench tips short I did. 3 movements that'll help increase your bench. If you're trying to get over a plateau, those 3 movements can help you do it. Like full-on training advice is probably not something I can do during the stream. No offense to anybody that needs that, but that's why I have those other videos. Because I have to, like, the stream's about the lifting itself. I want to give tips, but I can't give like full sit downs, you know? Full sit downs. Like bench tips is a very broad category, right? So there's no way for me to like tell you, well, there's more question and answer that has to go on before I can even start giving you bench tips. So. I know, sir. I was just making conversation about it. I got you. We did 3, 4, 5. We got 2 more to go. Let's knock out a quick double. Easy work. We just finished bench for the night, Mark. We're about to go do curls. So 6 days a week, Henry. Start over. That was 315. That was just an easy 315. That was just our drop reps. We went up to 350 tonight. All right, we're gonna do curls next, guys. We finished last week on barbell curls. We're gonna do cable curls tonight. So let's get set up over there. Did it? Look at that. I'm learning, Mossberg. I'm learning. Yeah, this is I'm just chilling. Big chilling in the gym. All right, let me go grab my laptop, guys, and then we're going to get started. I do not own the gym, no. Why would I lie about owning the gym? I'm the lead coach here and I'm the manager. So I'm the lead coach and the manager here. Give me 1 second, guys. We're getting set up. Trying to keep my chat running, guys. All right. I try and keep my chat running so I can read everything. I'm glad that the moderation thing is working. That's cool. That's big. That's a big thing. We've got a good few coaches. In this gym, for sure. Right now, I think we've got 4 of us right now. So 4 coaches for a gym this size is pretty good. It's not a bad count, It depends on the coach, Sasha. It depends on the coach. Some coaches, we all make our own rates. We're our own business entities that basically. So you know how like barbershops work, where you rent space from rent a chair in a barbershop. Similar idea. It's a similar setup. Similar setup. Why is this not going into things? There we go. All right. Similar setup. We kind of rent space in the gym, if that makes sense. But not in the same way. We're employees of the gym, but like loosely, if that makes sense. Appreciate it, Ben. What is my vaccination status? That's a very interesting question. Why do you want to know? Ugh. Ugh. Coaches can do very well. Coaches can do very well. It just depends on the person. With coaching, you're your own business almost anywhere you coach. Even businesses that have you like as an actual like W-2 employee, coaches usually are running their own thing. Like even when I was working for a big box gym, which gave me a lot of clients, I was still like in charge of my own schedule, how many hours I was willing to work, what days I was willing to work, what kind of training I was willing to do, who I was willing to train, those kind of things. Like, was I taking strength clients? Was I taking weight loss clients? Like that kind of stuff. You're your own entity. You kind of dictate what you're willing to do, what you're capable of doing, and how much you're capable of doing or want to do. And then you just, either you succeed or fail, you know? So. I love my job. My job is great. I make my own schedule. I've been doing it for long enough now that most of all of my clients are at this point people that I've been working with for years, and I don't really have to do much other than be a good coach anymore. So as long as I'm a good coach, that's all that people are looking for out of me anymore. I've established myself well enough. If I have an opening, I usually have it filled the same day. That's why I never advertise my coaching on the stream, guys. I don't have openings. Typically, it's very rare, and when I do, I usually have an in-person client that fills that slot. So very quickly fills that slot. Ugh. I don't plan on owning my own gym anytime soon. Not in my right now plans. At some point probably, but I've got a lot of other things I want to do before I even invest my time into that. I will have my own personal gym, but being a gym owner isn't like my end game goal. I know it sounds weird because you always want to own what you do, right? But I am my own business, essentially already. I'm into strength sport. I like strength sport and coaching. Owning a gym isn't all it's cracked up to be. So I'd rather coach and I'd rather do my strength sport stuff than own a gym, if that makes sense. At some point I'll own one because I just will, but appreciate it, Mikey Mike. Not adding any moderators, Popo, right now. Appreciate it, Cyril. Do I train vaccinated clients? You seem very concerned about vaccination status. Would I train a vaccinated client? Sure. Why wouldn't I? I don't care if they're vaccinated or not. Yeah, you missed bench, Tom. We just finished bench. All right, another set here. Yeah, my hair or my face? The beard's back to normal. It's growing back. It's growing back. But all right, we got one more set here. We got shoulders next. We're gonna do a dumbbell shoulder tonight probably, and then we will do rows, of course. Normal gig tonight, guys. Nothing fancy. We're in a deadlift tonight. I don't know what we're planning on doing for the calisthenics yet. So. It is a great poster. I enjoy it quite a lot. I am starting to sweat, guys. Pretty bad. I'll be right back. All right. I am back. One more set here, and then let's do shoulders. Ugh. It's great, isn't it? It's a great tip, isn't it? Tighten up those jars. They're going to come see you eventually. Whee! All right. Let's move on. Let's go do shoulders. Boom. Woo-wee. Yeah, we got shoulders next, guys. Ugh. Belly full of, what did I have tonight? Spaghetti. I had spaghetti tonight. It was delicious. Look, I'm still waiting on that Fairlife sponsorship, all right? I'm still waiting on that Fairlife sponsorship. Ugh. Oh. All right, we'll warm up 55. We warmed up with 50s last time. I kind of want to bump the warm up to 55, guys. We're going to bump the warm up another 5 pounds. At this point, straight just hundreds for the warm up, Petra. Hundreds for the warm up. I think we might warm up. You know what? Let's warm up with 65. How about we warm up with 65? Let's go a little heavier on our warm up tonight, guys. 65 for the warm up tonight. 80s for the second set. I don't know, something in that ballpark. I feel the same way, Nicole. I don't have 200s, all right? We can hammer curl them, Ben. I do need a training partner. I'm working on that. I told you guys I have someone that's going to be training with me. If everything goes right, that'll be very, very, very soon. So, appreciate it, Turtle. I'm doing well, JH. How you doing? All right, 65 is the warm-up tonight. Let's go. Little tricep work just to kick it off, right? Let's go. Nice, nice, Jage. Elbows need to touch my hips. That's a new one. I've never heard that bit of advice. Yeah, just kick that dumbbell out of the way. Elbows need to touch my hips. That'd be intense. It'd be fun. Hold on here. I don't even know. Hold on. Yeah. Is that a flexibility issue? Am I supposed to be able to touch my hips with my elbows? That's as far as they go. That is maxing it out. The punch on. Nice, nice. I'm glad you got that going. That's ultimate stretch. Appreciate it, Maria. Yeah, we're definitely bulking right now. So gotta get some more weight on here. So let's do we're gonna do 75s. The reason why we're gonna do 75s for the second set is because I'm looking at the dumbbell rack right now and someone placed the 75 on top of the 80s kind of. So I'm gonna grab that real quick. No 15,000 calories a day. How's it going, Haro? How's it going? All the way from Australia. That's pretty cool. Appreciate you being here. All right. I'll be right back. All right, got the 75s. This is set numero 2. And then we got to get something. I appreciate it, NC. I stuffed paper mache into my tank top. That's why, NC. It's all paper mache. Everything in here is paper mache. These are paper mache. This bench is paper mache. Is that joke gone now? Is there anybody left that still knows the paper mache other than like NC and Mossberg? Have we lost that one? Actually, Popo, I don't think I can see the weird stuff. I do have weird stuff moderation on tonight to test it out. I see some of the stuff you're saying. So, you remember that? I'm glad you remember the paper mache thing. This is not my home gym, no. Mossberg. I was told that my machines are fake. Like a while back, someone said that my machines, my cable machines were fake. So. All right, let's get it. Yep. Gotta go. 75s for 7. It just depends, JD, on the lift. Definitely soak it in water first. It makes it heavier. Five years I've been lifting. Oh, I don't do shrugs typically. I do have a shrug at the top of my my rear delt flies, but that's it. I don't have a basketball hoop I have access to, Petra. I'm gonna be honest. There's not even like a park nearby that has one. There's not even like a park nearby that has one. Ugh. I might be able to. There's one gym that like it's about 40 minutes away, but I could probably get to there and do it. Basketball stream. That's a lot more cardio than I'm willing to do, Ben. All right. Maybe I would probably go back to the rock climbing gym before I'd go do a basketball stream. All right. Mind you, Petra, the town I live in has like 2,000 people total. It's a very small town. It's a very small town. There's 2,000 people in this town total. That's the population of my city. So. Yeah. I don't know, maybe we'll do something like that, but we did biceps just a minute ago. Biceps felt good. Biceps definitely felt good. So we got a good little pump going on the arm there. Decent little pump going on the arm, right? Biceps looking good though, looking swole, right? I don't know how that doesn't qualify as something that needs to be moderated automatically. Popo, calm it down. I train 6 days a week. Hold on. I live in South Carolina. There's a lot of small towns, guys, everywhere. So, all right, let me grab this. What y'all think? Should we grab the 20s, the 30s, 50 kilos? About 50 kilos. Was that 47 kilo? 100 pound. Let's grab 100 pound. I don't know what that comes to in kilos. All right. Yeah, the accent's there. It's not super pronounced though, JD. So the more I talk, the less it comes out. So. Is that what that is, Tom? It is the way to be, Mossberg. It is the way to be. I do have a tattoo. It's a dragon. It's pretty awesome. So I have 3 tattoos, believe it or not, guys. I've got one here, I've got one here, and I've got this one. So three tattoos. All right, hundreds. Yeah. Did y'all hear that paper mache hit the ground? Let's not start spreading rumors that I'm a part of a mafia, all right? It's probably a bad gig, right? They're dragging right here, Harold. What's up? All right, 100 pounds. We're going to go for 1 to 3 reps. 1 to 3 reps. Arm wrestling. People keep saying that, Knight. People keep saying that. So maybe we need to take a look at arm wrestling at some point. How do I get 300 grams of protein a day? A lot of dairy. How's it going, Bryn? Welcome back, Bryn. What's up? We are getting it in. 100 pounds are going up about now. So 100 pounds are about to go up. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Got the hundreds. All right. Shouldies, it's shouldies time, right? Oh yeah, these are going up. We're gonna grab 3 of these. We're gonna grab 3 reps here. So it's gonna be a great time, guys. It's gonna be a great time. 3 reps is the goal. Let's go. 3 reps is the goal. All right. First one's the hardest one. One more. Woo-wee! Let's go. Whew. No cardio. 3. We got 3. I said 3. We got 3. Hundreds. There were hundreds in my bones. Appreciate it. I'm about to clip that for tomorrow. I like dragons. That's basically it, J Slice. Also, my mom's really into dragons, so It's like a tattoo for me and my mom kind of thing. So mom's like really into dragons. I love dragons, don't get me wrong, but she's the one that got me into dragons in the first place. I grew up around like dragon memorabilia, all kinds of stuff. Fantasy stuff mostly. Ugh. I actually I've never seen Dragon Ball Z. I've seen a couple of episodes, like bits and pieces, but I've never seen Dragon Ball Z, like full gig. We got Rose, guys. We got Rose. I take creatine and I take pre-workout. I've never seen Game of Thrones. Never seen Game of Thrones. We're actually going to use a different attachment. So let me grab an attachment. I'm doing okay, Pete. Appreciate it, J Slice. My heart's doing great. I don't need cardio. You can clip that too and use it against me later. I don't do cardio. I don't hide that I don't do cardio. I'm strength. Everything I do is strength. So we're about to do rows, yeah. A lot of milk. Yeah, milk is my cardio. Milk is my cardio. Guys, so hear me out. As a coach, I'm moving weight around all day, right? So just today, right, with the 4 or so clients I had today, right, I had to move weight around for, the better part of 5 hours, right? So, sitting there and shifting weights, 100-pound dumbbells, 45-pound plates for that long, I don't need cardio. I don't need separate cardio. So, and lifting heavy is good for your heart. Yes, you are not, Mossberg is correct. So, I'll put it on a sticky note on my back. Sticky note on my back. Also, guys, I have chickens. I don't know if you guys have ever worked with chickens, but let one of those suckers get out, all right? You're getting your cardio in for the day, all right? And it happens often enough. Jumping fences, climbing trees. No, I haven't had any injuries, no serious injuries. So, I'll be right back. All right, this is the attachment we're using. I don't know if you guys have seen this attachment before. They do lift their own weights. They have my clients get a very strenuous program typically. I generally only take very serious clientele. At this point, it's just people that are really, really serious about hitting goals. So their programs are strenuous enough. I can move a couple of weights around. I want them to rest during the rest periods and focus in on the lifts we're doing. I don't want them wasting energy moving weights around. So I designed their program with the exact amount of rest time they need in mind. So all right, let's grab this. Full brick, sets of 7. All right, I'll be back over there in a second. Full brick, sets of 7. Let's go. Whee! Do I coach competitive powerlifters exclusively? No. No. Depends on the client, Sashu. All of my clients are programmed individually. So I don't program two people the same almost ever. Not all the time, Max. Sometimes. Oh, look at that. I got one of those messages. This message is held for review. I'll let that one go. I'll let that one go. Did you hide it? Did she hide it? That didn't seem that bad, but we'll keep it hidden, I guess. I like that. That's really useful. That's really useful. 5'11". I'm 5'11", 178 pounds. That whole auto moderation is top tier. That's awesome. What do you think, Mossberg? Top tier so far, right? I feel like the stream is nice and clean tonight. So, what he said wasn't that bad, but I think it was obviously there's a key word in there, right? It was a message from Kenneth, and Kenneth is usually pretty good. He didn't say anything outlandish, but I have to go to my laptop to allow the message, I think. So, but it was just he just swore, and it caught it. So. I feel like we're still getting plenty though, Mossberg. Don't worry. It's not 1 o'clock yet, is it? No. Yeah, Petra, you got caught. You got caught, Petra. I see it. I see it. I think I don't know if it sends it to just me or if it's whoever clicks on it first. I don't train to failure, no. We train to be winners here, Max. We never fail. All right? Train to be winners, not failures, all right? No one likes to fail. Everybody wants to win. Ugh. No, it's just not part of my routine. I think I can. Okay, now you guys are just playing with it now. You guys are just playing with it now. Hey, that one that it just caught, that was actually super useful. All right, there, it's working. It's working. It's working. No, you're good, Petra. It was a different one. It might be allowed for mods. I don't know if it blocks mods. Was that you, Mossberg? Mind you guys, I can still see your messages. So if you say something outlandish, I can still see it. All right? Just a heads up. Just a heads up. I can still see. And Mossberg can too. So outlandish things still get seen. I keep getting them now. Oh, we're doing this. We're doing this. All right, let's grab this. Easy work. I've started a landslide with this now. I've started a landslide now. Ugh. All right, we got triceps next, guys. All right, triceps are up. Triceps are up. All right. Let's go. Triceps. Everybody's favorite triceps. Let's go. That's high enough, right? Yeah. Kind of? Yeah, that's high enough. I'm not adverse to face pulls, but I don't do them very often. So it's just recent, Brandon. I don't think it'll catch every one of them. It's holding them for review, though. We're definitely catching some, Brandon. We're not catching all, but we're catching some. It's an auto moderation thing that I have access to now, and I'm testing it to see if I like it. So far, it's only stopped primarily things we didn't want. So mostly profanity, but I don't have a problem with profanity, but because other people can't keep their issues out of the stream chat, now we can't have anything, right? Can't have anything nice. So oh, that's a sneeze. Oh. I don't have the rubber pads. I used to have those. I used to have those at another gym, but I don't have them here. Yeah. It is. It's terrible. It's terrible. All right. I'm going to be seeing these little review messages all night. Watch. Look at that. Like, that was a solid catch. That was a solid catch. I use local honey sometimes, like unfiltered raw local honey. I've used that in the past for the allergies. It works pretty well. Yeah, it only shows us the review messages. How's it going, Bryce? So far, chat is a lot cleaner than usual. Is that right? What is that? Vike? Is that right, Vike? How is that? How is that? What's your bench, Vike? Oh, wow. That's no good. I've heard of Mad Honey, Sashu. $170 kilo. What is that in pounds? There's certain things it's not going to get, Bryn. So it's doing some, Bryn. We're doing our best, all right? Is it 365? $170 is 365. What's up, Isaac? $375. If that's the truth, he's got me by 10 pounds on the PR right now. Not by much, though. If he's telling the truth, that is. So. Well, this allows us to just moderate specific. Like it's moderated automatically. I tried doing the whole no moderation, like low moderation with just a little bit of like control, and it got way out of control. Mossberg, Bryn's been here long enough to know that. There's a few of us that have been in the chat long enough to say 100% it has gotten out of control. So I can set up specific flag words, Bryn. I just didn't have time to do it yet, so I can add extra words. So there's definitely going to be some things that I add to the list and we'll turn it off auto moderation once I've added those to the list. So. Flag the word lifting. I'm gonna flag the word paper mache. We could shut down all of the science-based lifters in one night just by shutting down, just by moderating out the word actually. Actually. All the science-based lifters gone immediately. Actually. This is the V handle, and then we've tried all the handles. This one still is top tier. All of them have gotten pretty easy at this point. Sometimes I do dumbbell extensions overhead, but according to research, I'm going to get rid of that sentence specifically. According to research. Welcome back, welcome back. Stretch. I'm getting rid of stretch. Stretch is gone. I am natural. I'm getting rid of the phrase full stretch. Full stretch. And CrossFit. We're getting rid of the word CrossFit. It's okay, CrossFitters. It's fine. You're allowed here. Controlled negatives. We're just got to get rid of all the words, all right? I'm just going to, the letters A through Z, I'm taking out the whole English alphabet. If you want to chat here, you got to learn another language, all right? How's it going, Mr. Banana? All right, we've got rear delts to do. So I'm going to put some weights away because they're in my way. And then we will do rear delts. Oof, yeah, hamstrings, it's no good. That's no good. That's a bad time. Appreciate it, Sashu. If you don't say I'm peeling out, that's nearly a crime, I feel like. You have to say I'm peeling out. All right, let me move some weights around. We're going to be using this 100 in a second, so we're going to leave this over here. We're going to put one of the 100s away, though. All right. You should always clean up your weights, guys. You should always clean up your weights, especially when people are watching. Always clean up your weights. Always clean up your weights. Especially when people are watching, right? All right. Let's scoot some weights around so I can get them on the rack. That'll do it. All right. I do compete, yes. All right. Do I watch Sam Sulek? Once in a blue moon, yeah. I do like Sam Sulek's content. No LASIK. I like my eyeballs. I'm a power lifter, like, if that's what you mean, powerlifting or bodybuilding. But I was bench deadlift specialization, and then I moved to full power recently, so we've added squat. But I'm a power lifter, so if you mean weight class, right now I weigh 178. So, how's it going, Josh? This feels a little light. We're gonna grab one more. We're gonna grab one more. One more up. We're at 55. Yeah. Technique is top tier, Abraham. Top tier technique. The technique, the only technique. Whee! Got all this dumbbell dust on my shoulders, guys. All this dumbbell dust on my shoulders. Oh. Do I think Lee Priest was natural? I have no opinion on that, to be honest. I don't know that much about Lee Priest. I tend not to give opinions on lifters that I don't actively follow, because there's no way for me to give that like opinion honestly without doing more research on it. So you always tell the bulk's going good when the crease marks move. When the crease marks move, you always tell when the bulk's going good, right? Woo-wee. I know who Lee Priest is. I don't speculate. I don't know enough about him to give my opinion. I don't speculate. It's not legal here, no. Unless you get it prescribed. Yeah. Yep. 6 days a week, yes. 6 days a week. You're gonna have to come with a new troll. Michelle, Michael, whatever your name is. There you go. Oh, it's getting old. So when it comes to bodybuilding in the pro levels, the majority of those guys, yes, they're taken. Vast majority. You may have an outlier somewhere down the line, but generally, if they're at the pro level, they're taking something. I doubt you're going to give me $50. I'm going to be honest. I've been told that before. It didn't happen, so we're not doing that. It is an empty gym, so it's not even like it'd be difficult for me to do. It is 12:30 in a small town in an empty gym. There's no one around. We're going the hundreds next. I compete in a natural federation, but powerlifting. I don't bodybuild, powerlifting. So the chickens will come running. Yeah, it doesn't happen, Ben. It almost never happens. We get deceived often with that stuff. If you asked me to do a lift, I might have humored it for the fun. But for you guys' eardrums, I appreciate you guys being here. I don't want to scream into you guys' ears. If you'd asked me to go bench like 315 or something for a donation, I might do something like that. But for you guys' eardrums, in my eardrums. I'm not doing that. I appreciate you guys being here too much to scream at you. Well, maybe we'll do a woo-wee. All right, stick around for this set. I'll throw in a ooh-wee in a second. We'll scream an ooh-wee. We're allowed to scream ooh-wee on the chat, right? That's normal. I'll do some curls here in a second. Hold on. Yeah. Does that count? Woo-wee! Is that loud enough for you? It's not coming. I can guarantee it's not coming. That was 100 pound, 100 pound. Ugh. Well, good news, we're not bodybuilding, right? Good news is we're not bodybuilding, Billy. We are powerlifting. It was the right amount of weight, Oil, the right amount of weight. It was actually really easy, believe it or not. Lightweight, yep, yep. Woo-wee! Let's go. Whew. Powerlifters curl, Billy. Does bodybuilding have a curling category? 30 years old. No, I'm natural. I'm natural. And those are rear delt flies, mind you. The little 100-pound hammer curls were for the giggles. Those are really easy to do. Yeah. So here's the trick, Bryn. How to tell if someone's on gear, right? I've discovered this over the last few months of training on stream, right? If they lift more than me, right, they're on gear. That's essentially it. So that's essentially it. That's essentially the gig, right? The gear video, yeah. There's a whole breakdown. If they lift more than me, gear. It depends on what lift you're talking about as far as my PR. I'm a hypocrite. What am I a hypocrite about? I don't think so. I don't think I'm a hypocrite. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? That was a blocked message, but someone called me a hypocrite. I didn't know what blocked that. That's a good one. So why is that? I'd love to hear your opinion on why. Oh, these are coming in quick. These guys are upset. Yeah, they're trolls. You guys don't want to see that. Ban the word thingy. Ugh. Have a good one, Australia. I've trained, yes, I've trained people for other strength sports, yes. I believe you meant underestimate, Bryn. Probably autocorrect there. That's fair, Billy. Underestimate, is that what you meant? Yeah. Yes, no, 100%. My bench press PR is 365 currently. from South Carolina. So a lot of dairy, a lot of lean meat. That's my diet typically. Yeah, let's go. I made that sound a lot heavier than it is. That's just a 45-pound bar. Probably the most noise I've made all night for a lift, right? Oh. Probably the most noise I've made all night for a lift was picking up that 45-pound bar. What's up, what's up? I do eat eggs. I have my own chickens. So I have my own chickens, so I do eat a lot of eggs. I usually get between like 6 and 7 eggs a day from my coop. And we usually supplement like a dozen eggs every few months. So we'll buy like a dozen cage-free organic eggs to move into our fridge. And then those 6 eggs, supplementing that daily, will keep us stocked on eggs. We don't usually run out. So sometimes we get more than that. Sometimes we go out there and there's 8 eggs. Sometimes there's 9. It just depends. I've had as many as 10 eggs out there in a day. So all right, let me add some more weight here. Let me put our weight on the bar and let's get started. We got deadlifts. Deadlifts. Let's go. What's up, Popo? This is not a home gym, no. I'll tell you what. So the last year or so was the first time my chickens have ever been cost effective. All right. I usually pay more for my chicken keeping than I would pay for eggs at the same rate, but I like having my own eggs, right? They just taste better, higher quality proteins, just better in general. But this past year, they've been cost effective, which is new. So it's been quite enjoyable not paying $10 a dozen. But they have dropped. Eggs have gone down pretty good. So. Ugh. That's rich guy, Bryn. That's rich guy. All right, let's add some more weight. Let's go 225. I don't dance. That's the way to get famous on YouTube, I found out, though. Everything I see on YouTube Shorts is dancing now. Everybody's dancing to the latest, like, song. I promise I'm not doing any dances anytime soon. Don't worry, guys. Ugh. We will not be dancing on this stream. All the YouTube Shorts I see that are really, really popular are people dancing. I don't know. So mind you guys, my YouTube is also shared among my household. So it's also shared among my household. I get a mixture of lifting stuff, children's cartoons, because I have toddlers, and dancing videos. So, I do get some political stuff here and there. When I'm on so I have multiple accounts. The one that's shared at my home is the one that usually gets hurt. This account is usually pretty safe. I can find my lifting content pretty quickly. So it's a very interesting watch history, right? It goes like an Eddie Hall video, and then the next piece is like Baby Shark 30-hour repeat, right? So that's usually how it goes down. Oh. 365 is my bench right now. They aren't they bad, Bryn? And they know what they're doing. So recently my 3-year-old was playing around on the little baby tablet they have for a little while. They don't get to use it all the time, but he was playing around on it, and I kept hearing a repeat of the same song, some kid song. It was a normal kid song. It was like 3 seconds long, 3 to 5 seconds. And I realized that whoever's channel, whatever company owned that kid's like song channel, had made 5-second like clips of nursery rhymes to like farm views, because a 3-year-old will just click repeat over and over again. He clicked it like 37 times before I figured out what was going on. So I don't use the Smith. 365 is my bench PR at the moment. I don't use the Smith for bench typically. I mean, if you do, it's fine. That's just not I don't use it. Can't use it in powerlifting. I'm not a big fan of the Smith personally, but if it's what you got. But if it's what you got. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know nothing about it, Bryce. Does 3 reps qualify? I would say you're within range. Definitely have you a spotter for it if you're going to attempt it, but I would say it's within range. That's about where my 275 was when I started, like 305, but I can't say 100%. When I hit 275 for 3, I was definitely starting to chip away into the 30s. So, but that depends on you. Some people it takes a little longer for the singles than it does the reps. So. Enjoy, Ben. I take creatine every day. Do I like Kias? Not in particular, no. The one thing I will say about Kia is Kia does expect their cars to break, so they give really good warranties. So that is, I will say that they at least stand behind their product. I will say one of the craziest things I think I ever saw when it came to automotive, like cars breaking down. Kia, I can't remember what year model it was, but Kia had a car with it was a motor they made. So Kia had a motor they made at one point, and I was working. Where was I working at the time? I was working at a used dealer as a mechanic, and then I was a parts manager there. But we had a guy come in with a Kia, and the motor was blown, right? It's locked up, right? Yeah, I was a mechanic a while back. I wasn't like a super wasn't like a top tier mechanic, all right? I was okay. I didn't do a lot of mechanic work. I did the basics, right? More than oil changes. I wasn't just doing oil changes, but I didn't do like full motor work. I didn't pull motors or anything like that. But the Kia started coming in with blown motors, right? So it was one that was low miles, and it was like 30,000 miles or something. And we called Kia and we're like, hey, we called Kia. I did a little bit more than that. I wasn't doing super intricate work. Yes, exactly. So they were replacing motors. They had a recall on the motor. So if it went out, they'd replace it as many times as it would blow up. And they weren't replacing them, like they didn't change the motor. So they're just putting the same bad motors into the car. So they take a motor out and they'd slap another one of those motors into the car until it blew up again, right? Until it locked up again. So they just kept putting these same motors, just new ones, they had the same problems into the cars. And I don't know if they ever decided to replace it, but they were burning through these cars. So every 30,000 miles, you got a new motor. It was a great setup. At one point, we had a Kia dealer ask us to hold the car on our lot
to hold the car on our lot for like a month, and they would pay us to store it because they couldn't fit it on their lot, and it would take that long to get it in. Ugh. Yeah, easy work, easy work. It was nutty work to have a dealership say, hey, just keep it there. Is it still going on? Do I show off my muscles in public? What do you mean, Mark? How's it going, Nico? I do have a Camry. Yes, I drive a Camry. Working in automotive, not for everybody, but for me, working automotive put me off of caring about cars, to be honest. I don't care about cars anymore. I will drive if it'll run forever. I drive it. I've got a Camry that I drive. That's my daily driver. And then I've got an old Honda Civic, little four-cylinder Honda, all four cylinders, Honda Civic sitting in my driveway. Old like 2002 Honda Civic sitting in my driveway that has a dead battery and flat tires right now, and probably bad gas in the tank. But I'll tell you right now, I jump that battery off, it'll run. It'll run. Ugh. She drives the same. We just have the Toyota in the Camry, in the Honda. Just the two cars. Brittany's favorite car that she's ever owned, I will say 100%, was our Mini Cooper. I bought Brittany a Mini Cooper a while back, and a deer ended up ending that Mini Cooper's run. So. But Britt really liked the Mini Cooper. It was her dream car at the time. She always wanted a Mini Cooper, so I got her a Mini Cooper, and it was a great car. I loved it until we hit a deer, jumped right out in front of us. I'll tell you what though, if you guys want a car that can take an impact, Mini Coopers, top tier. It blew through that deer. I was doing like 50. I blew through that deer. All right, so. We do pretty well. We're there in boosters now, Bryn, so we have a lot more space than we used to. The Camrys are sizable. It's a sizable rear seat. Now the Mini Cooper, on the other hand, the Mini Cooper was a struggle. The Mini Cooper was a struggle bus. But to be fair, we bought the Mini Cooper before we had my third child, I think. We bought the Mini Cooper before my third son was born, so that's why we were able to do that. A deer wrecked it, all right? And then we got an SUV for a little while, and then the Toyota. So. And then the Toyota eventually. So, I will tell you right now, the deer got in my way. That's what happened, Mark. That is a myth, Alfred. So. Hold on. The most reliable car I've ever seen, all right, when I was working in mechanics. No, we don't eat roadkill. I eat deer, but I don't eat roadkill deer. Plus, that deer was in a lot of pieces. It didn't stay in one piece. So there was some of the deer over there, and there was some of the deer over there, and there was some back there, and there was a piece over there. It didn't stay whole, if that makes sense. So. But the most reliable car I've ever seen when I was working in mechanics, I've never owned one. Hey, Chase, what's up? How's it going? Was the Honda Fit. It like, and I'm I don't care about Hondas that much, honestly. Like, I have a Civic because it's reliable, but I'm sitting in my yard. But Honda Fit is just it's unbreakable. You can't break them. If you want something that'll last forever and you don't need a lot of space and you don't care exactly what it looks like, Honda Fit. If you need something that's just reliable and good on gas, Honda Fit will run forever. It's just, I've never seen one actually broken. I've never seen a Honda Fit actually break. I've seen one have like maintenance, but I've never seen a Honda Fit actually break in all the years I've worked around cars. So. All right, I'm gonna grab this real quick. Easy 405, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do from there. Starting to lose my voice, guys. For those of you guys that never heard me say this, if I talk loud for long enough, my voice goes away pretty quick. Because of at one point when I had that surgery, when I had my thyroid removed, they had to numb. They said they called it numbing your vocal cords. Like, they basically had to numb the stuff in the structures in the front of the neck and move them out of the way. And it has caused just permanently, I guess, very easy voice loss when I talk a lot. So, all right. It was difficult when I was running fitness group classes 3 or 4 times a day. I'll tell you that, because I had to be loud. Whee! It's 405 on there. Ugh. We don't PR on Mondays, Mark, typically. Usually Wednesday is our PR day for deadlift, as well as bench, typically. Ugh. So German vehicles are reliable for the most part, and they're tough, but when you do have to maintenance them, they're expensive. They're expensive to maintenance. All right, let's keep adding weight. Ugh. Depends on the lift, STR. Deadlift PR is 490 at the moment, but it just depends on you, Popo. There's some people that their lifts are a little bit closer. It's not typical, but it does happen. So, all right, let's get this. You guys know what BMW stands for, right? BMW stands for Bring More Wallet. That's what they used to say in our finance office at BMW whenever people bought BMWs. That's what they said whenever they were trying to sell them a maintenance plan. Bring more wallet. BMW, because that's an expensive maintenance. But if you're buying a brand new BMW, you probably shouldn't be concerned about the maintenance cost. They're expensive cars. They're good cars. They're fun to drive, but they are not known for their affordability. I'll tell you that. Performance, reliability, They're top tier cars, but not when it comes to maintenance affordability or affordability in general. You don't buy one because you're trying to get a good deal. But yeah, bring more wallet. Bring more wallet. I've seen some serious contracts that get signed as far as like monthly payment on a BMW. I think the most I ever saw someone sign was like a $1,900 like monthly payment. It was some crazy number like that. $1,900 a month was their car payment. Let's go. That was 425. Heavy singles pretty much every day. $178 at the moment, Kevin. $178. Sweating isn't a necessity. Sweating isn't a necessity. It is a symptom of lifting. Yeah, I know. I feel you, Mark. I've actually never had a car payment in my life, believe it or not. Ooh. A little aggressive with the camera movement, huh? Sorry, guys. I've never had a monthly car payment. I've always paid for my cars in cash. I see your message, Mark. I don't buy expensive cars though, Mark, mind you. Oh, we're doing push-ups. We're doing legs and then push-ups, guys. What am I doing? We're in the wrong spot. I'm doing fine, Pat. All right. No, I probably was wearing sweatpants when I went to go buy my last car, to be honest. I was probably wearing sweatpants when I bought my last car. So I tend to buy used cars, number one, because I usually get like messages once in a blue moon. Someone will like text me and be like, "Hey Chris, we got a car." Because I know a lot of people in the auto industry near me, right? That live in this area. I'm friends with a lot of automotive guys. So mechanics, manager or sales managers and sales people, all that stuff. So I have like an ongoing list of cars that hit me like once a month of like, hey, this just came in. So it is. Benching 225 is more rare than you would think, John. It's just we see lifting content all day. So, but no. So I get a text message every now and again. Hey, we got this car that you might want, right? It's like once every few months I get a text message with like one of my buddies like, hey, this just came in. It's pretty nice, and it'll usually be like a cash car, you know, something that's like $5,000 to $7,000, you know, something that you would just go like. When you're in the market for a car and you don't want a payment, you put money aside and go get a cash car. That's how I buy cars. Once every few years, if I need a car, if I know I'm going to need a car, I set some money aside and I just go and buy a car. I don't want a payment. I don't want a payment on a car. I'd rather buy something that's in pretty good condition used. Like my Mini Cooper, I bought that cash. It was a nice Mini Cooper, pretty much brand new as far as condition. Had still a couple of miles on it. But I got it cash and I didn't have a payment. I was able to put all that money into the any maintenance I needed, which it didn't need any. I've never had a car payment ever in my life. I've never had a car payment ever in my life. So. Never had a car payment. That being said, I've worked around cars my whole life. So that is all right, another set of 7 here. Another set of 7 here. Look up the Bulgarian method. That's the closest thing to what I do. I do remember you. I do remember you. Welcome back. I remember your name. I do. Look up the Bulgarian method, Bulgarian weightlifting method. That's the closest thing to my program you're going to find. You're never going to win with a car payment, guys. So if I could give you guys any automotive advice, right, that holds true almost universally. There's very rare instances where this won't be the case. If you're buying a car, right, expect to lose money. You're never going to make a profit on a new car or 99% of the time a used car. The moment you drive off the lot and have signed paperwork on a car, you lose like 20% of the value instantly. You turn around after buying a car and pull back into the parking lot, right? And you go and trade that car in, you're instantly losing 20% of the value because the car has been owned. It's been purchased. They have to say that it's been purchased by at least one person, regardless of how long you've had it. You immediately lose money. You are always going to lose money. It is always a deficit. Cars are never a good investment. Oh, well, 99% of times cars are not a good investment. Yeah, it's like 20% immediately as soon as your tires touch the ground, right? And not even like touch the ground. As soon as you scribble your name and your information goes to the bank and you drive off the lot, you are now the proud owner of that car at 20% less than you paid for it, almost universally. It might be higher now. It used to be 20% was like the go-to number. So you buy a $100,000 car, you drive off the lot 10 miles, it's now worth 80 grand. So I deadlift 3 times a week. Cars are never a winning investment. The only time you're winning on a car investment is when you have a business that you can write it off. Yeah, no, 100%, John. I appreciate it. 490 is my PR on the deadlift currently. We're going to go for a PR this week on both bench and deadlift. So you should invest in yourself. That's always a winning investment. Yeah. Now, so here's the other part to that. If you own a business and you can write them off, sometimes you can win on that. So believe it or not, around here, there's a lot of BMW SUVs, X5s, X7s, $100,000 SUVs, $150,000 SUVs with farm tags, farm license plate that say farm vehicle, right? Special tags because they're technically farm vehicles for these businesses, right? So someone that has a company, right, owns a farm will buy one, right? Because it weighs a certain amount, it qualifies to be written off 100%. So they can write it off on their taxes, like $130,000 written off on their taxes because they spent it on a vehicle for their business use, right? Which is their farm. So they can basically, write off the entire cost of the vehicle. That is the one trick that I will say, not free, but they don't have to pay taxes on that amount of money, essentially. So let's say they have to pay taxes on $300,000 in income for their farm or whatever. And this is vague. This is not like exactly how it works. They can write off the total value of the vehicle because it's being used for business purposes primarily. So they'll only be paying taxes on whatever's left after that business write-off. So if you've ever gone to like a business dinner and like had to like keep your receipts for tax purposes, like, oh, I'm gonna write this business dinner off because I paid to talk to some people. Same idea. Yeah. So we used right around when tax season hit every year, we'd have people coming in buying cars. Yeah. So if you declared a $300,000 income, knock 130 grand off of it. Now you're only having to pay taxes on 170,000. So, yep. So you reduce your taxable income because you're technically losing money by spending it on the business vehicle, right? So if I made $1 million in my business one year and I wanted to write off 130 grand of that, and I only wanted to pay taxes on 870 grand instead of $1 million, I'd go buy a $130,000 X5 and write it off. And now I don't have to pay as much in taxes. So your taxable income reduces by the amount. But we used to have that every year. End of the year, someone would come in and be like, I need to buy a car for this amount of money. They're like, I've got 200 grand to spend. Sell me an SUV. Sell me an SUV so I can write it off. And they would take the most decked out one I could get for them, essentially. So now that only works for cars over a certain weight though. So if you ever wondered why trucks seem like super heavy, usually it's either EPA reasons. Like, you know how they say trucks are getting bigger and bigger every year for no reason? The EPA has a lot to do with that. And the other part of that is actually business write-offs. Because over a certain weight, it qualifies as heavy equipment, basically. So, all right, we're doing push-ups. I don't like cars that much. I know a lot about them because I worked in the industry, but I worked in the industry out of necessity and not out of enjoying cars. So I kind of fell into automotive for a paycheck, and I eventually found the thing I actually wanted to do, which was fitness. But I did make money in automotive. I didn't make bad money, but I wouldn't want to own my own car business. No, I don't care about cars that much, I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a favorite car. I'm a fan of American Muscle, but I don't have like a favorite car. Mustangs are nice. I'm a big Challenger fan though. I like American Muscle, Challengers, Chargers, Mustangs, all that fun stuff, you know? All right. Do one finger. I can't do one finger, I don't think. I've tried it in the past, and my finger, I just haven't been able to manage one yet. Or to practice it. That takes a little bit less body weight maybe than I currently have. I think I've done 3 fingers. One arm. But they are a depreciating asset, yes. All right, let's get these push-ups in now, guys. Let's do just a set of 7, get them moving. So. Hydraulics. Hey, how's it going? The one arm one? I don't know. I've only ever tried it once, I think. That was like the second time I've ever done it. I had a feeling I was going to hear from you, Mossberg. I was waiting for it, Mossberg. I knew exactly what I was doing. I was waiting for it. I thought you missed it for a minute. I was like, I wonder if Mossberg heard me. I also started with Mustang Mossberg. All right. I was waiting for it. These are very clean floors. They're not clean floors. I was definitely not getting any dust though. Trust me, I was A-okay. How do you feel about that? Mark says Hellcat Mossberg when you said best American Muscle. How do you feel about that one, Mossberg? That's great. That's great. I wouldn't say Hellcats are the fastest. They're quick, but I'm not a big Hellcat fan. Mossberg is obviously talking about the Dodge Avenger, all right? I don't even know if it's the fastest from the factory, Mark. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the Hellcat is. I mean, they're quick. They're definitely off the factory floor, they're definitely quick. They are very heavy. Corvette is definitely going to be up there. Corvette is definitely going to be one of the quicker ones, right? So they're lighter weight, low to the ground, which helps a lot with aerodynamics. So, to this day, Mossberg, you ready for this? To this day, I've only ever messed up one car while working on it. Done serious damage to a car one time, Mossberg, by accident. You know what it was? It was a Z06 Corvette. A Z06 Corvette. There's only ever one car I ever screwed up working on. I was waiting for it. Camaros are great. I left it out, Mossberg. I did. But yeah, the only car I've ever messed up on was a Z06 Corvette while working on it. Hydrolocked the motor. I locked up the motor. It was a lot of work to get it back running. So, yes, like Bumblebee, Mark. Mossberg has a Bumblebee. I did lock up the motor on a Z06 Corvette, like a $20,000 motor at the time. So, I was working for Honda at the time, believe it or not. I still don't believe it was my fault, but I was the mechanic working on it. And I wasn't doing any actual big work on it. So it was a Z06. It's the first one I had ever worked on, and I was still a very new mechanic at the time, right? And I had never seen a sump before. I had no idea what a sump was. Right? So I didn't drain all the oil. And after getting done working on it and refilling the oil, because obviously oil was part of the gig. It's a spot where extra oil is stored, Mark. Some of the oil is stored in a sump. So I refilled it after getting done working on it. I had to put oil in it, of course. So I put oil in it, and I put the amount of oil it took. Right? We had to order it because it took Mobil 1, and I was working at a Honda dealer, and we didn't have that on on a reel. So they gave me exactly how much I needed from the parts department, and so I dumped the oil in it. And well, turns out there was still 3 or 4 quarts sitting in the sump, and all that oil decided it had to come out somewhere. So I'm backing the Z06 out of the bay and about to pull it into our lane, and oil just sprays out of the intake. Not a great time. We got it fixed, but it was some effort. No. It's very specific cars, Mark. Not everything has a sump. So it's usually very high performance. Yeah, Mossberg, right? So it just stops running, right? I'm backing it out, Mossberg, and the car just, and I'm like, oh, I stalled the Corvette. I was like, it's got a finicky, it's a finicky little car. I was just, maybe I wasn't holding the clutch in enough or whatever while backing off my bay, because I had one of the platform bays, so you kind of had to go up and down a hill. And I was like, I just stalled it, right? So yeah, that's the best way to explain what I did. It's not exactly what happened, but No, I didn't get fired. So I was still very much an asset to the company. So enough of an asset to get kept around, at least it seems, right? And they didn't deem it 100% my fault at the time. So I'm backing the car out, and it stops, and I'm like, oh, I stalled it. So I cut it back on, and it cut back on for a second, and then it made a weird noise, and then it cut back off. I was like, crap. I was like, what did I do wrong? So I went and I grabbed my foreman, my shop foreman, because obviously this is a big deal, and I didn't know what was going on. I was still relatively new to the trade. How's it going? How's it going, Joshua? And he comes out and he's like, oh, the battery's dead. I was like, even me at the time, he knew the battery wasn't dead. He was trying to help me out, right? He's like, the battery's probably dead. I was like, no, it would be the alternator would have to go out for that to happen, right? And so he tries to jump it off, trying to be like, trying to hope, right? Hope and pray. And that's when we saw oil go out the front of the car when he went to cut it on again. And I was like, so that's a bad sign, right? And he's like, yeah, no, that's not good. And I was like, okay. Mind you, while this is happening, the owner of said Corvette is standing behind my bay watching me work on it. Is standing behind my bay watching me work on it. So he got to see this in real time. So, about probably $5,000 went into that car. I didn't have to pay for it, thank goodness. But all right, let's get some push-ups. Let's do one arm push-ups, 7 aside, and then we're gonna call it a night on the calisthenics. Whee! Oh, we fixed it eventually. We fixed it eventually. It took a lot of doing. I wasn't the one fixing it. Another mechanic got the pleasure of fixing it. He got paid. That mechanic basically got clocked hours on that, as many hours as he wanted on that car. He just got to run hours on it. He had just purchased it. From a Honda dealer, mind you, used. He had some nice tires and wheels on it, but nothing else fancy. I mean, it's a Z06. It was fancy enough on its own. All right, give me 1 second. All right, let's get the chat pulled up. That being said, that was probably like the worst thing that I ever saw happen to a car. No, I think I saw one come off a lift one time. Saw a couple of people hit other cars, stuff like that. But that was probably the most expensive screw up I've ever had with any of the automotive I've ever been involved with. So. That's rough, John. Sorry you had to deal with that. John Doe. I mean, that's fixable, right, Petra? You just drain it down a little bit. I will say from experience, Petra, coolant does not taste as good as it smells. Oh, God, the first time I ever got coolant in my mouth, that was awful. You didn't notice right away. Coolest car on the block, though, right, Petra? Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. What's up, Noam? That's solid, Giovanni. I'll tell you, so 365 is my bench PR at the moment. Yeah, you did undiluted coolant. How's it going, Manthan? Please don't spam Manthan, I appreciate it. Okay, Lord. So one of the craziest things, so Mossberg, anybody that's worked in automotive might have seen this. Everybody has like that one older tech that works in their shop, right? He's like 97 years old. It's all he's ever done. He grew up in that shop, even though the shop only opened a year ago. He's been there since 1997, although the shop opened in 2022. It never makes sense how long he's been there, right? He's worked on every car that's ever been made. Coolest guy, right? Coolest guy. Usually has long hair, smokes cigarettes while he's working on the cars, right? Usually about 3 pack a day, unfiltered. But he has the worst habits when it comes to like checking things on a car, right? So I watched a tech do this, right? He's like, hey, you want to know how to tell if oil is burnt? And this is when I was still learning. I was like, yeah, it should be pretty easy to tell, right? Like he's like, all right, this car, we'll see if the oil's bad in it. And he sticks his finger in the drain on it, pops it out, and pops it in his mouth. And he's like, yep, that oil's burnt. And I was like, you shouldn't eat oil. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, you can't just eat the oil. And he wasn't joking. I watched him just pop his finger in the oil pan drain and just pop it in his mouth. It's burnt. I mean, he was right. He was right. He was right, and he knew he was right. And the thing is they live to like 150 years old. There's got to be something in it, right? There's got to be something in it. There's got to be something in the fluid, right? These guys are just built like that. 6 day a week full body, Adam. Heavy. There's got to be something in it. Maybe it's the unfiltered Marlboros. No, smoke is terrible for you. That's actually the thing that I see a lot of techs deal with the worst is their coughs from smoking. God, everybody in the automotive industry, so many bad habits. They're actually 42. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll look at the Bulgarian method, Adam. It's very similar to what I run. It'll give you an idea. Yeah, but they're good techs, mind you. These guys are some of the best techs. If you see a tech stick his, 99% of the time you see his tech taste the oil, he knows what he's talking about. He didn't pick up that habit from nowhere, right? He picked up that habit from another tech that also tasted oil like 35 years ago. I don't do a lot of floor presses. I'd imagine. I don't do floor presses very often, like. Nice, Adam. 5 years is how long I've been lifting now. Yeah, so automotive industry is not good for your health, guys. It is not good for your health. I don't use slingshots, no. No slingshots for me. I'll only lift the way I would lift in competition, you know. I don't use any equipment. Um, the automotive industry is not a healthy industry. It can pay well, but you're trading health for money for sure. Even if you are like the most intricate tech when it comes to like wearing gloves and putting on like filter masks when you're working with fumes, you're still sacrificing your health. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten like oil in my mouth, my eyes, um, coolant, antifreeze, that stuff that's like really bad if you accidentally swallow it. Luckily, I didn't, but I got antifreeze in my mouth at one point. Um, I do compound movements most of the time. Almost all my movements are compound, Adam. I'm powerlifter. I do powerlifting as my sport. Um, but yeah, it's a tough industry. It's a tough industry to be a part of. Now, here's the thing. Being an automotive tech, you will always have work. You will always have work as a tech. It's almost impossible not to find a job. You have to try to not get a job. Compound movements are great, Kent, but it just depends on your fitness level. I can't give those kind of recommendations over the stream, unfortunately. But compound movements are great. A big deal. So I actually did a post on my channel earlier today asking people's opinion. I am an advocate for cleaning up the American diet, just the diets in general, but obviously in the U.S., petroleum-based diets are very prevalent. So it's probably one of the biggest things in nutrition that I feel like has been taken care of in like the past few decades. Since I've been alive, I haven't seen a bigger thing get taken care of. As far as other than that, and the food pyramid being changed, the food pyramid was trash, but the food pyramid also wasn't actively hurting people like petroleum based dyes are. So there's no we don't need dyes in our diet, guys. So here's the thing. So some people could, even if you can justify some of the crap in food, like even if you want to justify preservatives for making food cheaper, right? Or if you want to justify, some artificial flavors or sweeteners, right? There's no justification for dyes. There's no justification for dyes. Yeah, no, we're one of the last countries that still allow those dyes in their food, or at least really, or Western countries that still allow those foods in their dyes, or those dyes in their foods. It's been banned in most countries in the EU, and in Europe, Western Europe, and Eastern Europe. Most of those countries have banned it. Asia, a lot of those countries have banned it over a lot of the Asian countries. The U.S. is one of the last ones on the West that have not banned them. By 2026, we should be changed over, yeah. Dyes are one of the easiest things to remove. There is no reason. Yeah, I think our food needs to go back to natural. I think our food needs to be natural. Dyes, there's no reason to have those dyes in our food. There's no reason. So here, this is why dyes were originally added to food, was to attract children to those foods early. That way, when they get older, they would be part of their brand, right? They have that brand awareness. So these companies added dyes to make them vibrant and colorful. And then when we figured out we knew they were bad, but when we started knowing like, hey, these are like really bad for you, we shouldn't have these in our foods, they paid a bunch of money to make it so they're like, oh, well, it's not that bad. And everybody else is like, no, they're terrible. We're banning them in like all these other countries. And they're like, yeah, but like, is it that big a deal? They kept paying this money to get it pushed off like it was nothing. And finally, I don't care what you say about anything else going on in the U.S. right now, banning food dyes is a no-brainer. No-brainer. I don't care what you say about anything else. Banning food dyes, in my opinion, is a no-brainer. So... those dyes don't typically have anything to do with flavoring. So those dyes don't typically have anything to do with flavoring. Yeah, our snacks for the kids are very, very healthy. They can have sugary snacks, not like super sugary snacks, but they do have sugary snacks. There are a lot of cakes and things, but we typically home make cakes. We home bake cakes, cookies, brownies, cupcakes. If we're doing anything, it's homemade with real food, with real ingredients. Or if we do purchase it, we purchase it for somewhere where we know what's in it, and we can decide. How's it going, Cemetery? I don't know what you're asking. Yeah, I'm less processing the better in my opinion. Less processing the better. Now, processed is also a big word. You know, everything that goes through a factory is going to be some form of process, right? So. Canadian dyes. Gotcha. Yeah, so I don't eat any artificial dyes. I haven't this is almost 5 years now. No artificial dyes, no artificial, I will say it hasn't been 5 years without artificial flavors. There was some pre-workout that I was taking for a little while that still had artificial flavoring in it, but that's gone now. It's been gone for a little while, a long time. But artificial dyes, artificial flavoring, gone. I do very, very, very limited added sugar. No artificial preservatives. 99% of my food is organic, USDA organic, so no pesticides and no herbicides are used. So nice, Chase. That's awesome. That's gonna be a good time. Yeah, I'm doing a garage build this summer, Chase. Got you, John. That's completely dependent on you, Tiger. If you're actively progressing, that's strong. It's so wildly ranged. We see a lot of social media nowadays that says you have to be benching like this much to be strong, or it seems like everybody benches 380 or 405 or 500 pounds. It's a rarity. Anything over 225 is considered strong typically. That's like the average considerable, like what people would be like, oh, that's really strong. That's like where you first start getting like comments typically. Um, but 185 can be strong if it's something that you're worked up to. 175 can be strong. It just depends on you. Is it more than you were doing before? If the answer is yes, that's a good thing. That's strong. Oh, but it is that time, guys. It's been about 2.5 hours now. I am gonna go get some sleep. I'm gonna go get some sleep and prep for tomorrow's session. So, but I will see you guys tomorrow. It was a fun time tonight. So, nice, Chase. That's a solid setup, Chase. That's a solid setup, Chase. I used to eat a lot of ramen noodles. I haven't had ramen in so long. But yeah, no good for you. No good for you. Now I do some homemade ramen, some organic homemade ramen once in a while. Top tier. Top tier. But that's rare. That's rare I do that. I'm doing well, Celebrity. How are you doing? No, that's big, Chase. Chase, are you in the Discord, Chase? You should send over some pictures of it all once it's set up. Yeah, they're not cheap. Home gyms are expensive. You should get in the Discord, Chase, and send some pictures of it all. But It is time for me to get some sleep, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Flooring is going to be important, Chase. Flooring is going to be important. Yeah, get it set up and send me some pictures, Chase. But I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow around the same time. Sleep is important, Jack. Sleep is important. Nice. I'm still working on becoming good with the speed bag, Chase. I'll update you when I finally figure it out. All right. See you guys. Ooh, that was a burp. See you guys later.